Corporation for just announced the merger with Lucid. So there's good and bad news. The good news is that all these investors, institutional and retail, were right on Churchill Capital CCIV stock. They are merging with Lucid. The bad news is that this stock is dropping like a rock after hours on the announcement. And it's because of the details of the acquisition that is causing this stock to drop. Okay, and I think that this could actually present an investing opportunity for people looking to get into CCIV stock, since it's actually confirmed that it's merging with Lucid, and if they believe in Lucid as a company. So as we can see, this stock has dropped by 27% after hours, and we're going to go over again why that is and at what price point I'll be jumping in this stock again. Okay, so as you know, I held CCIV stock, but fortunately, I was actually able to sell this stock when it was at $57.50. I actually put a stop limit on the stock because I was afraid that this stock would drop like a rock, and of course it did. So my trigger price was $56.55, which means it would sell a stock once it passed or once it dropped below $56.55. And this was last week as of February 22nd. And I recorded a nice 200+% gain. So I sold this stock. And of course, if you want to follow my buys and sells in real times, there's a couple links in the description below. And also, if you want to trade stocks with zero commission and you're in Canada, there's also a link to a referral to Wealthsimple where you'll get $10 if you sign up. But anyways, people, based on, I did a poll, and based on 61 votes, 18% of people thought that if the merger was announced, the stock would go to $60 to $80. Close to 30% of people thought the stock would be $80 to $120. So everyone basically missed the mark if these after hour figures are accurate. We'll see what happens on market opening, but definitely after hours, there's usually reduced volume of trading because not everyone can trade after hours. Okay, and about 18% of people thought that the merger will not happen, and then CCIV will drop like a rock. Well, the merger did happen, and CCIV also dropped like a rock. And there were high expectations, okay? So 23% of people thought this stock would be over $150 on merger news. Okay, so again, the message boards are going crazy. There's like 1,500 people viewing this right here, and people are not really sure. People are saying that like it's a good buy. Again, I look to Yahoo Finance section for most of my entertainment on stocks that I'm looking at. Okay, so let's look at the actual news of the merger. There are a bunch of articles. The first one here is, again, basically a summary, and I want to go over this one first here. The title is Lucid Motors is going public in a major SPAC merger. The EV startup will net $4.4 billion in cash as a result. Okay, this is just a picture of their car here, the Lucid Air. And basically, I want to start with this here. So roughly $2.1 billion of that cash will come from Churchill Capital, so CCIV. Some $2.5 billion will come from a new round of funding running concurrently with a merger, which is anchored by Saudi Arabia, but includes BlackRock, Fidelity Management, and others. The deal values Lucid at $24 billion. So this is a $24 billion merger or deal, and I believe they said about $2.5 billion. $2.1 billion will come from Churchill, and then again, $2.5 billion will come from key investors. Okay, so Lucid Motors is going to become a publicly traded company on the NYSE in a deal that will leave the electric vehicle startup with around $4.4 billion in cash. The California startup, which is majority owned by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, plans to start shipping its first luxury electric vehicles, the 500-mile range Air sedan, later this year. An electric SUV is slated to follow in 2023. So this is pretty big news because Lucid is being poised as basically a Tesla competitor. Okay, and I mean, they have a lot of expectations to live up to actually be anywhere near Tesla's production line, and you know the hype they have around their brand. But you know, there is a lot of excitement as seen by the dramatic rise in Lucid's stock price. Okay, but now it's falling like a rock because they expected that potentially Lucid and the CCIV would acquire a more majority stake in the corporation once Lucid goes online and actually trades on the stock exchange. Okay, so let's look at the key of the deals. So again, Lucid's mission here, of course, sustainable transport. Transaction provides additional growth capital as Lucid brings over the 500-mile range Lucid Air luxury electric sedan to market and expands rapidly. So CCIV and Lucid are combining at a transaction equity value of 11.75 billion. So the transaction includes an approximately 2.1 billion cash contribution by CCIV and a 2.5 billion fully committed PIPE with an investor lockup provision that binds holders well beyond closing. So that means that institutional investors and PIPE investors, they can't just sell out if the stock price rises rapidly. Okay, they have to hold, I think, for like at least 6 months to a year after the deal closes, and then they're able to sell out. So the PIPE is priced at $15 per share, a 50% premium to CCIV's net asset value, with an implied pro forma equity value of 24 billion. Okay, so I think this is the majority of the reason why CCIV is dropping is because these pipes are priced at $15 per share, which represents 50% 50% lower than what CCIV's net asset value is. Okay, I mean, this stock is a stock that's currently sitting at, before market close, like close to 15 billion. Okay, and so I mean, expectedly this stock should drop by about 30 to 50% based on the pro forma PIPE investor valuation. Okay, so this transaction includes the largest ever SPAC related common stock PIPE, and Peter Rawlinson will continue to lead Lucid as CEO and CTO. Lucid currently employs nearly 2,000 people, with 3,000 employees expected to be added in the US domestically by the end of 2022. So what do we know? We know that Lucid has a lot of cash on hand now, especially with this deal, like around an additional 4.4 billion in cash, that it's going to be valued at $24 billion. We still don't know all the details of the merger, like how much controlling interest will CCIV have over the stock once it becomes publicly traded. And I think the majority of why this is going out is because of the PIPE transaction valued at a 50% premium. Okay, so what that means is, this stock is dropping to take into account that valuation. So what I would do is, and what I think the fair valuation of CCIV is right now, is maybe $30 to $35, and then I might consider adding in again, because again, I sold at $56.50, and so if I can get back in at around $30, I think that's a significant premium, and I do believe in electric vehicles in the long run, and I do believe in this company in the long run. It's nice to know that there is an actual confirmation of this merger. Okay, so I'm excited to see what CCIV does and what the exact details of the transaction are. Again, this is very limited news that we've heard after hours on Monday. And a lot of people were expecting, like I said right here, for this stock to go past 150. Almost a quarter of people thought this stock would go past 150. Okay, but sometimes it just isn't like that. And there's a lot of optimism and a lot of hype surrounding stock, but you have to understand that these stocks and these SPACs are incredibly risky. Okay, so people can make a lot of money, but people can also lose a lot of money. So at least as long as you know that and you keep that in mind, you can hopefully take advantage of other people's greed. And when the market is frothy, as we've seen in this huge run up over the past 6 months, this stock is up like 400%. You can take a profit and wait back for the stock to get in at a lower level. So you take advantage of the lower price, okay? So again, at the end of the day, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Now is a time, hopefully after this pullback, to be greedy, okay? So that's all I have for you today. Be sure to smash the thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I provide all market updates and all my sells and buys. And if you want to check that out in real time, of course, there's a link in the description. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Take care and see you later.